coming to you live with me, Miss Green Eyes Net, and go ahead, y'all can introduce yourselves.
I'd like to go first.
That would be you, Marilyn.
This is Marilyn Monroe, and we have the lovely ladies of Cola, which has a podcast, and they're joining us tonight to discuss a serious topic this month of October, amongst a whole bunch of other awareness campaigns that occur. Tonight, our discussion will be about domestic violence awareness.
Yes, and we're
This
gonna
is
let the
a
beautiful ladies of Cola introduce themselves first.
yes. We'll go ahead.
Okay, so I'm La from Cola. We like to have podcasts. Let's talk that talk with Cola. And I'm from Maryland.
All right.
Nope, it's no sound.
No sound.
You often mute. It's okay. This type of stuff happens. It's usually me, so
Yeah.
I feel a little
Yeah.
special today. I'm usually a
It
problem
is.
child when we do the podcast.
Yes. She's
You
Coco.
using a microphone or
Microphone.
is it connected to your settings? Did it disconnect?
Okay. So you want to bring her in? You want to
Yeah,
introduce her?
I introduced her. This is my partner, Coco. We're actually sorority sisters, turned friends, turned family, and it's probably one of the best partners I've ever had in life.
I like
Awesome.
that because I know you personally, so I like that for you.
I love that.
Thank you.
Awesome. So I guess who would like to start first? Let's first kind of bring in the topic of domestic violence
Mhm.
and speak first about what does it look like? What does domestic violence look like from the inside and the outside? I don't know if anyone wanted to be candid and share anything in particular, but I'll start it on what it looks like because I witnessed it and I've been on the inside of it. I was a part of, I was a victim or a victor of domestic violence once upon a time. And it looks like a normal person.
Yeah.
Like my domestic violence, I should say. I actually said it wasn't domestic violence because I didn't have black eyes. I didn't have anything that, could visually be viewed as, someone beating up on me, in physical. But I was always normal, I guess normal, if that's a such thing. And went to work regularly, hung out with friends. Um, you know, it seemed like from the outside, I thought maybe no one could tell. So to me, it could be the normal person you think would just be joke person, the party girl, the best friend. It doesn't have a look.
No.
It doesn't have a look for me. Like that's how being on the inside and outside. It just I didn't have those black eyes and knocked out teeth or busted nose, anything like that. So, what do you think, Shay?
So for me, I was in a domestic abusive relationship at the age of 13 and 14, and you could see it. I did have the black eye once. I did have the bruises and the scrapes. And then on the other side, you didn't see it because you didn't see the emotional, the mental, and the spiritual draining that I was going through with it because I mean I love that person. So we were gonna be together. And honestly, I felt like at that time I felt like if you did not put your hands on me, you didn't love me because that's what I was taught.
Mm.
That love was pain, love was abuse, love was toxicity. So if it wasn't those things, there's no way you could love me because it don't mirror what I was taught and what I seen.
Yeah.
For me, it's a little bit of the same. I seen it growing up, so I thought it was normal. So when I started going through it myself, I thought that, you think you can fix everybody. You think the person's going to change. You truly believe that type of stuff. They tell you that they love you. You like, I love you too. But love isn't supposed to hurt, but then yet love does hurt. So it's like, is it or does it? Like, I've actually had a knife pulled out on me against my throat, and I was still not afraid to leave then. It wasn't, I didn't really get the power to leave until he got incarcerated. And then I felt my strength come. And then I ended up marrying this person. If you guys know a little bit about me, I lost some kids in a car accident. So I married that person. So I married my abuser because then my mental state wasn't correct after I lost my daughter. So I ended up marrying him. And then 6 months later, we got divorced because I snapped back out of it and realized like this isn't where I want to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. Coco?
Can y'all hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah.
I had to unplug it. I just unplugged the whole thing. But I have never been in a domestic violence situation, but I have witnessed some. As I was growing up, my uncle he had this wife, and she used to tell my grandmother that if I come stay the weekend with her, he won't fight her. And at first, it was
Wow.
true. It was true. He wouldn't hit her when I was there, but I think he got tired of waiting. And it's just one night he came in drinking and he just started to fight her for no reason. And of course, I was 13 at the time. So I'm like, she didn't do nothing. You just came in. So of course I was on her side. And I wish somebody would try me like that. Because I can only help
Mhm.
him so much then. But now I always realize that's something I never wanted. I see the signs, I'm gonna go the opposite direction. Like it's just something I always said. I just wish somebody would try me after seeing that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
I want to ask a
Yeah.
question because I've been in it and I've never really witnessed it. How did it make you feel when you witnessed it?
I felt really bad because you already know he's drinking. She's in the bed sleep. So just to wake somebody up out their sleep for a fight is kind of ridiculous because she's caught off guard. And just to
Yeah,
think about somebody have
Mm.
to do this every weekend. Every time they go out
yeah.
and drink, you got to worry about, okay, he's gonna come beat me or he's gonna come do this. And at first, I was like, well, that's my uncle. I shouldn't be mad. But when I heard my grandmother say, tell her like his wife, like you're lucky because I would have killed him. She said it. She was like, that's my child, but I'm a woman first, and I would have killed him.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I say I never witnessed it, but of course we probably all have witnessed it because a lot of our friends don't speak about it like we are right now. Like I'm very vocal. So when I go through things like Marilyn is one of the first people that I call always. So she's known a lot of the stuff that I've gone through and you got to always have that person around you that doesn't judge you because
Mm,
like
Mhm.
judging me for what I'm going through mentally, you just don't know at the time. That's not what you're supposed to be going through.
right.
Right.
Especially if you're young.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. I was definitely
Because
young. I
now I'm
was
like, Coco, I wish somebody would.
right. I was young. I was young, and um, but again, I didn't think for a long time. I didn't think it was abuse. I didn't think it was domestic violence. I thought, like you said, Shay, you thought maybe like it's love. Like, only someone that loves you acts out like this. Only someone that loves you, gets upset to a point where they put their hands on you. Like, again, I didn't get the black eye, but I got handcuffed to a stop sign and left there all night, or most of the night. I got the bed taken from under me. Like, literally while laying in the bed on my way to sleep, the bed just, I was under the bed. Glasses of water or soda or drinks in my face. I was put in a rose bush. Those are the things I'm thinking. that's not domestic violence,
Right.
and then you have children, you become advocates for them.
Hmm.
And then it's like, okay, I can't allow this to be a thing,
Yeah.
and you know, but I was definitely young, and like Coco and Grenada said, try me now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a carrier. I carry, so it will not be. And I'm not talking about a baby. I
Right.
Yeah.
carry.
Right. Right.
All day. So try me, Jess.
Right.
Right.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
And
But
that's
it's definitely yeah.
that comes with the age and the maturity because
Yes.
and learning your self worth and knowing who
yes.
you
Mm-hmm.
are, knowing that this ain't you.
Yes.
Like, and I watched my mom
Yes.
go through abuse, so that's where I was taught from because I watched her like argue with my stepfather and then will run after him. And then as a kid, I remember one time we was living in town, right? And they got into an argument, and we had these wood steps. They was like really, really steep. And he said something to her, and instead of her walking away, he went upstairs. She chased behind him. She fell, and I believe she either bust her mouth or something. But I remember sitting at the steps are we supposed to? Like, why are we like, okay, so we supposed like this is normal. This is life.
Hmm.
And that was the first time I ever seen her be like hit or fussing anything. She hit a lot of stuff. But of course, as I got older, you pay attention to all the movements and everything. But
Yeah,
she was married to him. That was the only thing I seen from them two. But then as like I said, as I got older, then I found out that was an ongoing thing. I just wasn't privy to all of it. Um, and then she became abusive. So it literally just went from watching it, knowing her,
yeah,
being my mom being abusive at that time in my life, and then it was like, okay, well, what's the boyfriend gonna be abusive? Like
Hmm.
yeah,
that's what you just gave
yeah.
me. You just gave me a foundation to show me that this is what it's supposed to be. And now I don't fault her for it now, of course. But when I think I was like about in my 20s, and I'm like, all the stuff that I learned that I probably should not have, like, it shouldn't have been normal. It just should not have been normal.
Yeah.
Yeah, it shouldn't have been. And it's
My
so
question.
crazy because it took for me, I have 5 girls and 1 boy. And it took for me for one of my daughters to see me going through it before I kind of like realized like this is not cool because I would hurt the person that did this to her.
Yeah.
So
Right.
it
Right.
and I hated that she had to see it, but it was a real eye opener for me.
Yeah.
So with you guys being victims of it, like was it ever a point in time where y'all was too ashamed to say something or speak on it?
I know for me, it wasn't
Yeah.
a shame thing, it was a love thing. Like, I literally thought this is like, I remember being pregnant with my oldest daughter and getting into it with the same person, and we got into it, and he kicked me down a hill in an area called Best Gate. He kicked me down the hill, and the only thing that stopped my fall or me being hurt was a fence because I rolled into the fence. And then people seen it,
Mm.
adults, I mean, like, full-grown adults seen him kick me down the hill and went and talked about it. They didn't say anything,
Yeah.
nothing. So for me, it was like, okay, like it's really freaking normal. So it wasn't like, and I remember when I got punched in the eye. Now that day I had said some crazy stuff, right? Either now I don't give a nothing, you're not gonna get me. But that day I did. I had pushed every button I could possibly push. And he turned around and cocked me in my eye. And I went home to my aunt's house. And my brother, he's not my biological brother, but he's my brother. And I remember friends in the neighborhood like being pissed off at him because they was like, why you not going to do something? And he just stood there like, I don't know. And I'm like, okay, so no, nobody's gonna protect you. This is life. This is what it is. This is what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
And that lasted for I want to say like 2 years, probably 2 years. Yeah, probably like 2 years. I
And
know.
it's crazy because a lot of people still go through domestic violence like in public, but people are so quick to pull their phones out and record, laugh, and do the most versus helping the person. Nobody's saying you got to go fight for them or, just get them out of the situation or try to, you know what I'm saying,
No,
stop them from
Right.
just
working.
simply call the police. Let the police handle it.
Right.
Because we've
Yeah.
Yeah.
done that up here.
And that was my next question to the topic is how would you go about helping someone in this situation of domestic violence? What is the most um, effective way to really help them without harming yourself. Because an angry person that puts their hands on another is they violating, and they don't mind violating you.
at all.
So how would you help someone, um, Lynette?
For
That
me,
you can tell us.
it's definitely like a private conversation. Like if I know you personally, like let's just use you for example, if it were you. I would talk to you privately and ask you some questions so that I would know because I've been through it. I wouldn't ask you anything in front of your abuser, of course. But if I was there and I seen it, I'm going to the bathroom and I'm calling the boys. Like I'm gonna once the cops get there, I'll feel comfortable enough to explain what was going on, but I'm gonna act just as oblivious when the cops show up at the door. Like, who called the cops? Oh, you must have been being that loud. You know what I'm saying? So I'm
Mhm.
not gonna say, oh, I called the cops, but when the cops come, I'm gonna tell the cops what was going on. Like, we gotta call us some disturbance here. Like, I would hope that you would speak up, but I know what it's like because I didn't speak up before. But then once I got to the
Yeah.
point where I was calling the police on my abuser, then I knew like we can't be together. Because you do have
So how
some
would
girls that call the police on their abuser and bail them out. So we'll
Right.
talk about that one. So, but let's
Mhm.
hear Shay.
I was
What would you?
So I would be with you. I would definitely like we had an incident. We was driving home one day and this guy, we watched him like we were at the light and we watched him stop her. And I'm like, okay, we can't just drive by because this gonna get real bad. And it was at an intersection, so he did not care about who seen it. He did not care if somebody's gonna stop. And I mean everybody not heartless, in different areas. Some people would have actually got out if they seen it. So me and my wife circled back and we called the police and we told the girl, hey, police is on the way. And now my wife is one of those that she gonna open her mouth and she gonna say what she gotta say. So she told the man, she was like, I just want you to know the police is coming and we got your tag number, so don't try to run. So now when we went back, she got the car and went, well, I left with him. And I
that's
mean,
what we do.
he was on her. So it was like, I get it, you just ain't get to that place where it's like, I wish you would, but
Yeah,
she looked like she wanted to help, but she wasn't ready for it yet.
yeah, yeah.
And that
And
could
you
be
have to
what
be ready.
Coco said. She could be ashamed. She could
Yeah.
be in the part
That's
where
Yeah.
true.
she's ashamed right now.
Mhm.
How about
Yeah.
you, Coco? What would be your method, or how you feel like someone could help?
We know what Coco gonna say, but go ahead and say it.
It depends on the person. Now, if I'm just like seeing it and I don't know them, then I'm gonna call the police and I'm gonna them let you know I called the police because I feel like a lot of people is upheld with a lot of things that they do. Nobody never tell them they're wrong. They just overlook
Yeah,
it or not
yeah,
pay any mind. But some people need to be told like you're wrong. I called the police and you need to get it together.
Yeah.
yes, yes. I agree. I agree. I think
I agree.
it's important. I think it's important to respectfully approach a situation because, like you all said, like every victim is not ready yet. A lot of times, victims are they're being taken care of by these abusers. They're the ones that are benefiting in a way of financial, um, or just wanting to hold on to the story of we're family,
Yeah.
and you don't want to break that portrait up of we're married or we've been together for so long, and I don't want to start over with someone else, and so everyone is not ready, and every time you offer the help or call the police, they're not going to accept it, and it becomes touchy because then if they know you did it, they may stop talking to you
Yeah.
and
Right.
get mad at
That
you.
does happen.
And
It will.
yeah, because we will, and I say we is because that was once me.
Right.
We will shift the blame on him being wrong or her being wrong because in some cases some men are abused,
Hmm.
and then make it about someone that's trying to sincerely help you. I think the best thing is to always to really help someone is like Green I said, is to listen and not judge. Listen and not judge, and try to feed them their right mind and some good advice to get them to kind of shift their way of thinking.
Yeah.
Because ultimately, we can, in an abusive situation, we can only really help ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Because if, again, we're not ready, it could be the armed forces to come and get you. You're not going to want to go.
Yeah.
You're
Mm-hmm.
not going to want to go. You're not going to want to talk. Um, so it's important to always, I think, first to really be the ear and listening and to stay in a lane of, being respectful. But absolutely, if it gets out of control, call the police. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, I think it's definitely the more power someone has is to be able to still remain friends and not be judgmental. I know we do have a few people that are saying some comments. I don't know if you guys can see it. Can y'all see any comments
I
coming
can.
through?
Let's see.
You can.
You see him now.
Let's see. I have a few people on here. Um, Domestic violence. It's like drug addicts. Yes, Joy. It is. It is the addiction. It's true. I mean, it becomes a normal way of life. It becomes an involuntary part of life. Like it's not something you think about. It's just a Sunday, a regular day.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
And like
I
a
have someone. Hey, Miss Bless. Miss Bless is on here. But yeah, I just want to just shout out some of the viewers.
okay.
But thank you, Joy, for that comment because yes, it is. It's like an addiction. It is an addiction. It,
It
it is an
is.
addiction. And the best thing you can do is just help them and listen and pray for them. Pray for
Yes.
them to have the right mind to have enough
Yeah.
Mhm.
because it takes a lot.
Yeah.
Um,
We watched a lady on a cruise ship. Literally, her he didn't hit her or anything, but I'm sure if they probably was behind closed doors, it probably would have been worse. But they had like a little club on a cruise, and he made a whole scene fussing at her because she wasn't into like dancing. She wanted to just kind of chill or whatever, and he's fussing and he walks off and leaves her there. Not only are you embarrassed because this club is now full with people, strangers at that, and a lot of couples, and your mate now storms off the floor to make a scene, and then on top of that, then after that, it was like a pizza place, so everybody goes to the pizza place. She's sitting there again, minding her business, and he comes up again, very loud, making sure everybody see, and you could see the embarrassment on her face. And I'm just like, there's no way you know how important she is, because this clown, he's a whole clown, because all he wants is
wow.
to look at him, and the more and more you looked, the more he got loud, or he would storm off, and then again. And I'm like, there's no freaking way anybody, way is no freaking way anybody can know what's going on, or there's no way she has a dad, or there's no way she has no real big brothers. Like, isn't she's missing a whole village that would have had that nipped in the bud. Like she had friends that was like if he would have did something, it would have turned into something ugly. But it was just the fact of now you're on this cruise for the next couple of days, and more than probably 100 people just watch this whole scene, and you still have to be on the ship with him because God
Mhm.
forbid
Mm-hmm.
what happened and he pushed you overboard.
Oh Jesus.
Right.
Well,
And then some people seem to forget that domestic violence is just not physical. Like somebody could be throwing cups at you or breaking stuff. Like it's just not physical. It's just not verbal. It could be sexual. Sexual. You're not asking for it. They just taking it. It's in a sense that's rape as well, but it also comes with domestic violence because they're being super physical before they engage in the act of sex. So it's a whole bunch of different ways, and you may be going through it and you just don't even realize it.
Right.
I have a viewer, Joy, from YouTube. She said also her mother was a victim of domestic violence, and she said she remembers seeing her mother hit, seeing the scars, and her mother was beat so bad by a boyfriend he beat her into a heart attack
Yep.
in front of her and her, I guess her siblings.
No,
So
just
this stuff is like
her and her
this
sister.
stuff fits you.
Yeah, and she was in her
Hmm.
30s when that happened.
Yeah,
And this
thank you,
is
Joy.
and this is real. Like this is so real. Like people are going through it and they don't have an outlet. So while we're on here, I want to also mention that we can be your outlet. Yes, There is a national domestic violence hotline number that we can give before we end the podcast, but as well, we can be your outlet too. If you don't know who to talk to, we have been through it. I'm not a counselor. I'm not going to try to counsel you through the situation, but I can talk to you about the situation because
Mm-hmm.
some people just don't know who to talk to about it. Like back to
Yeah.
Coco being ashamed. I didn't tell my
Yeah.
mom and my dad that I was going through that because first
Right.
of all, I watched it growing up. So how dare me go to my parents and say what I'm going through so that now I can be judged? I don't want to be judged by people.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I
Yeah.
feel like you said that, Ned, because a lot of people will go to a friend thinking they're venting, doing the right thing. Oh, this friend want me to come talk to them, but you got to know how to be a friend as well, because nobody else should know what this
No.
young lady is going through. And I think that's a lot of times that's why people are afraid to bring a certain situation, because you don't know how to keep secrets anymore. Friends are
Mhm.
not friends.
Mhm. And that's the
Mm-hmm.
best point ever because that is so true. People don't talk to people because their business is all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
And
And
I
this is something that you don't want to be all over the place.
right. And I also feel like
Yeah.
parents if parents knew the effect that watching you go through any form of abuse has on them, it would make a big difference because then I feel like our household gives us the foundation when we're kids and
Mm-hmm.
get older to make our own foundation. And just like my mom, I remember her telling me literally this year, the reason she left my stepfather was because I came to her and said, when you leave, such and such goes on in the house. And she was so embarrassed. That's what made her leave. And she took so for
Wow.
her, she never even realized the effect the whole house was having. It was just the fact that I brought something to her attention and it was like, yeah, no, I can't do this anymore. I gotta go
Mhm.
get a divorce.
Mhm.
And just imagine if we, especially as women, even though there's plenty of men that are in domestic relationships, um, if
Yes.
we have daughters and sons and we're in something that's off or something we wouldn't want our kids in, to be able to get up and be like, it's not gonna work because our kids are going to get in it. They're going to fall into that circle because that's what they know.
And it's so crazy,
Yeah.
Shay, when you said the men, all of our eyes got big because that told me all of us have seen a crazy, off the hook woman in public going
Yes.
off on her man, hitting on him and everything. And
Hmm.
to society, that's normal. That's not domestic violence. That's just the chick
Yeah.
is upset. She's mad. No, that is domestic violence because I'm sure she is cutting up some
That's
stuff and bleaching it.
yeah.
Yes.
So I have a person that is chiming in, and her name's Morgan, and she said that most of the abusers have a very appealing storyline or qualities in the beginning. So they're very like suave, smooth. You know, they have things to offer, and they're considered as the perfect partner.
Hmm.
It's the honeymoon phase. You get into the honeymoon phase, and then a new term, it's like the love bombing. They love bomb you. Oh, they become so affectionate, so, just such the perfect person. And man or woman, it doesn't matter. And a lot of people don't want to start over again. It becomes a comparison to having to start over, taking a chance with someone else. But that's the comment, Morgan. Thank you so much, Morgan, for that. And that is true. That is true. So the person that you may see every day, that is the smooth, suave, charming person, you think everything is great. They in fact could be, you know, the abuser.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
so I have some helpful things to someone that may be going through, domestic violence, or if you are an abuser that is watching the podcast. Um, I like to say, the first thing is to make the decision, to know that life is not, this is not life. It's not life. You are not a slave. You're not a prisoner. You are a person. And it's important to, just accept yourself and to create a plan. And the plan, if you are in Section 8, because, domestic violence does not have a it's not a poverty ridden thing. It happens all over. So, but if you are in Section 8 provides a service called BAWA. And this is what I know because I actually am active in this movement. BAWA is Violence Against Women's Act. And that is a service that you can actually meet with your landlord and complete a questionnaire paper, provide supporting documents, whether it's a therapist document, a police report, something to kind of support the incident that occurred, especially if your abuser has created damages to your apartment or home. And this will help you be able to get out of having to pay those damages out of your pocket because of them. It'll also help you be able to get out of your lease without penalty and or transfer, unit transfer. You can actually transfer another property without the extra charges, but you have to meet with your landlord and request, if this is affordable housing only, VAWA, Violence Against Women's Act. There's also a VAWA that allows and helps with green card situations and things like that, but I'm speaking specifically regarding affordable housing, Section 8, because a lot of times it's hard. And if in fact your abuser is in the household with you and they are on the lease, then you ask for your lease to be verificated. So it's basically for them to be removed so that you can continue residency. I will not recommend staying in the same space though that they once have access to or they know the setup of. I would recommend moving. So that was just one of the main recommendations because I deal with women and men, and actually I've dealt with a few men that are in abusive situations that require certain helpful ways to get out of their lease, to get out, without penalty, and to be able to move forward, to start to move forward. So, any helpful tips, y'all?
I would say make sure you reach out. Don't sit in it. Don't feel like you by yourself because you're not. Whether it's someone that has been through it, someone that had just got out of it. There's always everybody in this world goes through something that helps someone bad, good, whatever. So you're never going to be alone. Even if you feel alone, whether the person tells you you're by yourself, whether they tell you no one's going to help you, I promise you, the first person, I pray, let me pray on that. I pray the first person that you open up to is able to help. But if not, go to somebody else. Don't stop until you get the help. And if you do have children,
Amen.
if you cannot do it for yourself, do it for them and save them the toxicity and the extra counseling and I mean just the whole beat down, the whole it's a lot that goes with it. And as a kid growing up, that is a lot that you have on your shoulders. So if you can't do it for yourself, let your kids be your friend and get out.
Yeah.
And Joy just had a good point. Joy said that domestic violence it just doesn't stop with the victim, the person that's being abused. It's also the victims also are the children that
Yeah.
have to witness, so that they are
Yeah.
also
Because we grow up to be the abused people.
or think it's okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's
So
okay.
my screen froze. If y'all can see me, I look like I froze, but I can hear y'all. So that's all that matters. And I'm glad it froze on my face. That's all that matters.
At least it
But
froze and not you looking crazy.
right. So I want to throw out the National Domestic Violence Hotline in case there is no one that you feel like you can talk to. It's 800-799-7233. You can also text BEGIN, BEGIN, at 88788. I wanted to put
Right.
that out there because some people don't have somebody to talk to, and these people are trained to listen and to direct you in the right direction, regardless of what state you live in, because we're all coming to you from different states. So the advice we're giving is coming from the states that we know of. But I want to make sure you're able to get help because, like Joy said, it is the children because it took for my child to see me go through something for me to just kick rocks and get out of there. And
Right.
I was the abuser a couple times in a couple relationships before I felt like, okay, now I know this isn't what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, I do want to
I
say,
do want to.
because there's a lot
Wait,
of
Coco.
women that crying about the situation, and it could be like y'all said, they don't want the help right now, or they in love. But it is a lot of women who states they want help, they want out, but then they go right back to it. And I know it's a process, but it also get innocent people involved. I have seen a lot of violence, gun violence, due to taking up, defending their sister, defending their, cousin, and in reality, your cousin or sister is just not ready to leave right now.
Hmm.
So it's
Yeah,
like don't get caught up or put somebody else in the mess when you know you're not ready.
Hmm.
that's true.
That
That's
and that's
true.
a big one because I do know a lot of people that do that as well. And you can see it on the news and nationally that people have gotten hurt and killed over trying to help somebody that's not ready. It's hard to say because I've been that person. So it's
Right.
hard to
Mm-hmm.
say that why we do it. It's more like a mental thing or like you're ashamed. Sometimes you're afraid because like I said, I had a knife pulled to my throat. So with a knife pulled to my throat, I actually honestly thought that that person was going to kill me one day.
Right.
So in my head, I'm like, oh, he's going to kill me. I need to be quiet. You know what I'm saying? But I never did that. I never put people in the middle of it because, like Marilyn, she's been my friend forever and she's never judged me for it. And she's actually never hated the abuser. And I'm not mad at her for that because she personally knows them. But it was easier for her to also be able to talk to the abuser in a calming type of tone. So
Right.
Mm-hmm.
it worked out for me in the long run. But yes, that's very important. I'm gonna speak out on that since I've been through it a couple of times. If you are going through it and you pull people in, don't pull don't try to pull people in as your protector when you're not ready to be protected because
Hmm.
that's a serious thing right there. You bringing somebody in that's going hard for you and they about
Yes,
to break the neck of the person that's abusing you and then you just gonna go back to them or bail them out of jail just like I said earlier.
Mm-hmm.
yes. This is another thing that really, really bothers me, and I really hope that enough people are on this that they will. I don't know who they could speak to, what we can do together collectively, but this is what bothers me. So let's just say you've been abused and you moved on. You leave your home of abuse. You move forward. The next thing you do, of all people, we forward our mail, right? We forward our mail so that our mail can stop coming to the address because we are now out of the house and we want to be free. So after forwarding your mail, USPS sends the confirmation to the house you flew from to say, hey, your mail has been successfully forwarded and providing the address of your new address. So now the
And your
abuser, of
abuser
course,
is like, yes.
Yep.
the abuser, of course, has no limits. He or she opens the mail and says, hey, I know where they are. That's a problem.
It is.
That is a
My
problem.
suggestion, my suggestion until this is fixed, until this is really seen is taken seriously enough by USPS, my suggestion is to get a PO box until everything is done. So if you are planning to leave and you forward your address to the next place, and even if that address is not a place you're living, it could be your mother's house. And that abuser didn't have that particular address. Now he does. Now she does. So please use a PO box when you initially move out because USPS um, sends the confirmation that it's been successful. I don't know why they do that,
It
but
makes sense because you don't know a person's situation.
Right.
no,
At all. At all.
no,
And
And you
maybe
should,
that might be
no.
something
you
that
shouldn't
we
have
got
to
to
tell
bring to their
anybody.
attention.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So please, if you leave, get a PO box. Really create a plan. Really, think about a plan so that you can successfully leave.
And
Um,
and you have to have a plan because even with the like I feel like the law is so behind. Like they just will not catch up when it comes to domestic violence. It does not matter how many people, mothers, fathers have lost their lives because of an abusive relationship or the person doesn't want to let go, whatever the case may be. You still have the restraining order. That's nothing
Hmm.
to someone that wants you. That's
Right.
nothing. Like it has to be something more because a lot of people look at that paper and be like, okay,
Like
like
whatever. Yeah.
if I
Right.
want you,
I'm
that paper
still out.
stop me.
Yeah.
You
Right.
know? So
They
it's
they
like,
still walking around.
yes. And you still can come
You
to my house and harass me. You still
yes.
can follow me everywhere I go because the only thing I can do is throw this paper at you. And it's going to do
Yeah.
what? What is it going to do? It's
Right.
not protecting
And
any.
that's unfortunately most of the people that you see that are losing their life from domestic violence, that's the next thing you hear. They had a restraining order. So
Yeah.
what good
Mhm.
was that restraining
I
order?
just read an article literally yesterday of a woman that wanted to divorce her husband, and I guess he didn't want the image to be destroyed because he had just got to this golf club and everything, and all she had was a restraining order, and he went to her house and he unalived her, and then of course he got harmed in the midst and was in critical condition, but she's not here,
Right.
and the only thing
Right.
she had was a restraining order and
All
five.
she had was a piece of paper.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
It has to be something better than a piece of paper. That piece of paper matter to a
It
lot.
does have to be something better. Like you put people in protective custody when you want them to testify for you for a case. Why don't we do the same thing for the women or the
Yeah.
men?
Yeah,
Exactly. I
yeah.
Yeah,
agree.
I agree. I agree. Um,
Any
so currently I live in a state, South Carolina. South Carolina is known for the highest fatalities of women due to domestic violence. Why? Because South Carolina is very old ways. And like you all said, the restraining order is sometimes it's near impossible to get a restraining order even here. It's like you have to prove, yes, he took my eye out last night. I have the video of it. Like it has to be like excessively documented.
Right.
And it's terribly hard. So, and of course, the state, you can pretty much everybody could carry a gun.
Mhm.
So a lot of women and people, but they said mostly women, they lose their lives due to domestic violence here. That's the number one cause of death besides car accidents here. And that's sad. That's really sad. So, um, we've come a long way. This is anything else, but it's so much more that could be done to make things better for women and men. And in men cases, a lot of women, like I think someone said earlier in the conversation, a lot of times we see women out yelling, screaming, throwing cups, and sometimes we look at it as just, what did he do? What did he do to make her mad? But men go through it too.
Yeah.
Men go through it too.
And it's probably
Good men refrain from putting their hand, returning the favor. So it goes both ways.
yeah,
Right.
and I feel like men would be more ashamed to say that a woman has been
Yeah,
abusing them because you're a man, right? So you're supposed to be
yes.
strong and you're supposed to be able to take on the world, and let alone you're letting a woman do it. But it happens because you do have men out here that will refuse to lift their hand up to a woman, and the woman could do everything. Now we had that conversation on should your son be allowed to hit a woman back if a woman is beating on them. I'm not for domestic violence, but I'm also not for you abusing my son and
Right.
thinking that.
Right.
that's right. That's
And
right.
but I also teach my daughters that if you go out here and you wailing on somebody, male, female, cat, or dog, it's going to be a consequence. So you must
Hmm.
be careful what
Yes.
you do all the way around the board because you cannot walk around thinking because you're a woman that a man is not supposed to. You're not supposed to either. Just keep your hands to yourself.
Right.
Right. Because that's what women say often too. Like, well, you're not supposed to hit women. You're not. Well, you're not supposed to hit me either.
At all. And I'm big on it. My kids know. And I have how
Mhm.
many daughters I have biologically? I have 4 daughters and 2 sons biologically. And I'm only saying them out biologically because that's the ones I have the most influence on. No, you already know. Don't call me if you're over there wailing on your man's head. Don't call me.
Right.
Don't call me
Right.
when he's sad because he done took too much, and vice versa.
Right.
That's right.
Don't think because you over here and you put your hand on a woman and somebody that's don't do it. Just keep your hands to yourself.
Right.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Well, ladies, what else do we have? What else do you have? Because this is a part one of our domestic violence conversation for the Culture Club. I have a super impactful story coming next week. We're going to also mix it up with some breast cancer testimonies. And this is the first step. The first step to anything is talking about it. Because when you can speak about it freely, like we all are, except for Coco. Coco didn't have to go through this crap. God bless
And
you.
she don't play that.
Sure.
She don't play that. And
No.
No, I'm messing with you, Coco.
for us to talk about it, that means we are free from it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because when you're not free from it, you can't talk about it. You just
Right.
don't want to. You want that opinion. You don't want the possible judgment. But honestly, I'm the last person to be able to judge anyone. I can't put you into heaven or hell. So the judgment from me, you will not get it from me.
No.
So
Well, I would like
yeah,
to mention that for the younger generation, pay attention to your friends, whether they be male or female. If you are going to go out somewhere, everybody's excited about going, and then you get over to somebody's house and all of a sudden they can't go, or the other half is telling them they can't wear this, or they can't go there, or they can't do that, or being very controlling over the finances. Maybe you might want to ask some questions later on because those are signs. Those are signs of somebody that's probably going through something at home besides not being able to go out with you tonight.
And you got to watch out for the isolation because a lot of people go
Yes.
isolating, especially when you're younger, because that's part of the control and the manipulation
Mhm.
is to make you feel like you don't have anyone, and I can
Mhm.
cause little fires between friends and your kids, your family, because you're going to lose your mate most likely if you're not strong enough or you don't have that boundary to be able to both people in a comfortable place. So watch out for those friends that isolate themselves, or you watch
Yes.
them go from being gung ho and having fun or whatever, and the next thing you know, they're in their shell. They don't want to do anything. Their dress is different. Um,
Mhm.
they used to wear makeup and now they don't. Because I mean, you can
Mhm.
change up, but you would see some of the changes. Like again, at the airport the other day, I swear this girl, she looked like she wanted to say help, but she just would not. You
Mhm.
have to watch because a lot of people will have it on their face, even if they're not saying it.
Joy said it's a lot of domestic violence on social media now.
It is.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was
that's true.
a couple weeks ago. It was a guy. He was an athlete from I want to say soccer from Jamaica, and he went into the daycare with his wife or girlfriend, child's mother. They had the child. They went to go drop the child off. I guess the child must have came back out. He walked up to the lady, and it's on camera all over Instagram, and struck her so many times in her face. And the little girl is in the video. You can watch her looking like I don't know what's going on. He takes off running, and the little girl runs to go try to go after the father. So what you just taught your daughter was a man is allowed to strike you, and you better run after him. It pissed me all the way off. Like it pissed me off the whole day.
Yes. Mhm. Because that's what I
Wow.
heard when you just said it.
The little girl didn't. It was nothing that stopped him. Like I'm like you could tell she's a daddy's girl. So you just showed her everything she needs to know at a very young age, and
Yeah.
she's gonna remember it.
Yep. Yep. Yeah. Wow.
It's definitely all about the kids. It really is, especially if you have kids in the situation.
Coco, today.
You say what?
I said, let them try me today.
Yeah,
Yep.
Like you said,
Don't try
I
me
was
no
young
more.
girl.
Yeah, don't
and
try
Don't
me
try
no
me no
more.
more.
I admire Coco because even when we talk on the show, it's stuff that I've been through, and she be like, I seen somebody do it, and I'm like, no, I can't do it. Nope, that
No.
ain't gonna
Yes.
work.
I learned from other people's mistakes. So if we were all friends and you were telling me what you was going through, I'd be like, I'm not going through it either. You went through it for us.
Yeah, for
So I
us.
Right.
let you
That's
do
right.
that. Yeah.
I love that attitude. That's gonna be my new attitude. You went through it for us.
Yeah.
Right. Like, no, I want no
Love
part.
her.
No for my friends.
Yeah. It's tough. It's tough out here for us. But I thank you both for coming again. Please tell everyone. Please tell the Culture Club where to find Cola and how to find you, what y'all about, and all that good stuff. Please go ahead, promote.
Yes, give us a
Um,
little preview of what you guys do.
Absolutely. You can find us every Thursday, 8 p.m. If we have to miss a Thursday for some reason, it's gonna be a follow-up. But every Thursday, 8 p.m. on Instagram, it's gonna be on Lachey Young. But on Facebook, it's on Coco Anthony, Lachey Young, as well as Let's Talk That Talk with Cola. That's on Facebook, and then we also have YouTube, which is Let's Talk That Talk with Cola. We're also on TikTok, and I believe it's Chat with Cola. We also have merchandise, which is going to be chattedupshirts.com. And we talk about everything because even though some of our stuff be, our petty moments, but we hit everything. We hit trauma, we hit divorce, life at the divorce, we hit grief, we hit everything that we could possibly think of. just
yeah.
to just to,
Okay.
just to talk.
And a lot of people think we aim towards the LGBT, but we don't. We for everybody.
Everybody.
Yes.
Um,
That's right.
so we don't
Tell
have
them to mind their business because we know who
right,
y'all are for real. Like just because you know my lifestyle don't mean shut.
right,
I hate when people do that. I really do. Like
right.
it's for everybody. Like cut
It
it out.
is.
Those are the people that you don't want to watch your stuff. Okay.
Hello, and I'm okay with it. I'm okay
Yes.
with it.
Because that's what we are too. We touch a little bit of everything as well. And people tend to think that we have a certain audience and we don't. Like, not only are we older women, but we also have children of various ages. I'm a grandmother, so it's like, come on now. We touching all of everything.
It's a time for healing. It's a time
Yes.
It is.
to talk about
Amen.
those things that as black families we weren't allowed to talk about. You have to be quiet and keep it
Yes.
in the house. No, we're talking
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think I think communication kills conflict. It kills confusion. It really does because, like you said, say, growing up, we were told to shut up, suck it up, deal with it, and that's on every regard, like anything.
Mhm.
Yeah.
We
Like
weren't able
domestic
to.
violence.
Yeah, we weren't able to express ourselves as much. So yeah, these podcasts are not just a podcast. These are real podcasts that really, if it helps one person, if it really makes one person understand and see and be able to even help someone else, that's what it's about. We need to help each
Hmm.
other. So
Yeah.
yeah,
And
Yeah.
that's why
I
that's why
really
we came up with our version of this because we want to help people. We want to do promotion. So this part of the podcast is promoting your podcast because everybody should eat. Everybody should be able to do what they want to do. It's no jealousy, no animosity. I want to see everybody win.
Yeah. And
that's
I mean
right.
you network. That's how you learn stuff. The
That's
stuff
how you learn.
That's
we learned for our podcast came from my wife and her partner's podcast. So
Yeah.
if I have a question, I can reach out to her. Her partner's more tech savvy. So if it's a tech thing, I can reach out and I can find out. But that's how it's a family thing.
Yes.
Like
Hmm.
we're not out here be like, oh no, don't no. I'm watching,
Nah.
I'm posting, I'm sharing. I don't care because even
Right.
Yeah.
though it touch me, it might touch somebody else. And it's
Yeah.
yeah.
food in the grocery store for everybody to eat.
It is.
Yeah.
Yes.
Someone said on YouTube, someone said it's rated E for everyone.
It is.
Yeah,
So yeah,
yes.
It is.
I like
yes,
it.
Everything is. And
yes.
we're gonna learn in this world to be able to help heal our
We
kids.
have often. We have to do this like combo, like because just these conversations together, like it's power in numbers.
Yes.
Well, you know what? Send you
It's
the
that.
invite. You just tell me when.
Yes.
Yeah.
I will.
You just tell me when. We are open.
Yeah. And I have a friend that's a licensed therapist. She comes on the podcast often because she is a professional. She has the degree and certifications to support anything that she says because everything that we discuss, of course, we're not professionals. We just professionally live life and experience things and that type of thing. And honestly, I think that's bigger than any degree sometimes because you can have a degree and not know a thing.
Right.
But so yeah, these are of course of our opinions and our experiences, but we always want to show and provide people the cheat codes of life. And there's never a gatekeeping in our podcast of information. If we know it, we have contacts of it, resources of it, we're going to provide you with it. That's the only way to win. I mean, I can't hold anything back.
Yeah, that crab in a barrel mentality has to stop.
It does.
Yes, it does. And we're all from Maryland, right?
Well,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Georgia.
I'm not.
Dang, come on,
No.
She
Where
from
you from?
AO.
Come
It's Atlanta, Georgia.
Yeah. I'm in Atlanta.
Okay.
That's okay.
Okay. Well, almost 3/4 of it. 3/4 of it.
Yeah. I'm a fly out. I'm a fly out. It's
Okay. Hold on. Who is this on here saying, say you're not black?
It's my wife.
Say it. Say,
And she does this on our podcast. She harasses the whole podcast. That's my wife. That's her.
okay. Say you're not black, ma'am.
Yeah.
You're not black.
Enough melanin.
Yes. That's all right. One thing about us, we come in all shades, and I love that.
Okay. Oh.
Yes. So any last minute words, shout out, Jay, shout out your wife right now.
Okay, so her name is Joy the Coach, because I have to say it that way. She has a podcast with her partner, Keisha Glenn. It is called Regal Mindset, where they talk about having a regal mindset. They literally want to transfer your mindset. They talk from topics from worldviews. They talk about like education, money, how to get free. She is more so after you get healed, get on over there, or just started to help you get healed. Her and her
Okay.
partner, and she also has melanatedthought.com, which is also our other shirt brand. And she's a life coach, loan. She does loans. She's a project director. We don't have enough time for what's on her profile.
but she's not black, right?
Right? No, she is though. Okay,
I'm just messing with you.
and she a Cancer, so I'm sure Marilyn knows that her mind goes 18 miles per hour. It's always
Yeah.
Yes, that's our fellow Cancer, and we're the best, by the way. Cancers are the best. I'm sorry. Shout out to Joy. We have, yep, that's not LS and Fred. Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
So as you said, and we definitely come together. Like we are, even in our community, a lot of our views come from our people that's like, don't matter what we're talking about. If we just sitting on there and get lost in conversation, they with us, as you see.
I love it. I love it.
Awesome. So, okay. So your wife partner on the show, what sign are they?
Taurus.
Yes. It's me.
She's a Taurus.
You hear that, Cancer, Taurus?
What's your sign, Coco?
I'm a Virgo.
Okay, little Chris from Atlanta.
Yeah.
Say it
Say that
again.
again.
What's your sign say?
I'm a mighty Capricorn, but I'm on the cusp of the Sage.
Okay.
But I got to make sure you know the mighty, because the Capricorn is the
Right.
Woo!
and I'm
Woo!
Zodiacs. That's what brought me to the one of your first shows, because you was talking about Zodiac.
Yes.
Yes. That's something we talk about all the time, obviously. Miss Black says everyone hit the like button. So if you're on this podcast and you're on YouTube, hit the like button. Do everything to support everyone that needs a little something. If it meant anything to you to log in to watch a second, take a second to hit like, take a second to subscribe, to follow, to support. And that's free of charge. So if you're on here, yes, hit the like button. Thank you, Miss Flash. Thank you so much. Yeah. What else y'all got? Is anything else we could wrap up? We had a great podcast, and like you said, we can do this again and again.
Yes, we gotta do this again.
For sure. I did not get any money for promoting high tea juice boxes. I was just I was sick,
I love it.
and I love you, Sasha. All right, y'all. So good night, everyone.
Thank you.
I appreciate you all so much.
Yes.
Thank you.
Good vibes. I love good vibes, and I totally get good vibes from y'all. So thank you
Yes.
so much, Coco. It was such a pleasure.
Yes.
You are awesome. Your energy is amazing. So you
Yes.
already know your energy is amazing because you're a Capricorn.
She didn't get to let go tonight. She is hilarious. She keeps us
I
laughing.
know. Shay, you gotta email us the topic that's gonna get her out there.
Okay. Any of them? Any of them?
This was the
That's where
first
I
time.
should come from
Next
her.
time it's gonna be, you know how first time you got easy now, you know.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay.
Next time it's gonna be all gas, no brakes.
I love it.
Okay. All right, y'all. Any last minute words before we tune out?
No, just love
Look.
yourself. Take care of
Yep.
yourself.
Yes.
You do everything you can to protect yourself.
Yes. Amen.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Coco, you got something?
Nope. I think my sis said everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just love yourself, be you. Like she said.
Yeah. Yeah. So I wish you all good life, good light, and love and blessings. And until next time, you have entered and now you're about to exit the Culture Club. Good night,
Yes.
y'all.
Good night.
Bye.